Hey guys, welcome back to Creators Chat Q&A. This one is about where we post our stuff online. So kind of more focused on the is less more, should I just be posting to a few places, or do you just like throw that stuff out there and go wild with it? Do you want to start this one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Cool.
So when I started out, this was in the wild days of old social media, and I'm going to start aging myself. And my technique when I was starting out was to do literally everything. Every site I could find to spam my work on, I would find a way to do that. Because I just didn't know what would work. And I was so horribly afraid of failing that I figured if I just tried everything, that something would work. And as it turns out, it did. Some things stuck, some things got me jobs, some things never got me anything. I'm looking at you, DeviantArt. I mean, I'm sorry,
Where careers go to die.
But I've gotten nothing, except for like bad offers to do like $10 paintings. So, I mean, yes, I've gotten some fans and that's great, but that's led to other sites. Nothing has actually happened on there. So anyways, there's been some that are really good for me and some that are just meh, and some that have been sort of a mix and a wave. Like Twitter used to be fantastic for me. I used to do really well on there, and now it's meh. Instagram has always been pretty good for me, so that's always been good. But part of the question was actually asking what we're doing outside of social media too, which I think is important because one of the big things that I think people need to focus more on is owning their own content. And this is why we've talked about this before, but like writing articles, creating videos, creating this content that you own is really powerful. I've written articles that have gotten, hundreds of thousands of views and are still there getting views all of the time. If you Google like how to become an artist, I'm probably on those search results. If you Google, should I go to art school? The first result is probably going to be don't go to art school. So like there's stuff that I've put out there that has just been out there for so long. So one of the biggest ones that is sort of social media but isn't social is Reddit. I've done really well on Reddit. Reddit has responded extremely well to me. I can't say that I've gotten tons of sales directly off of it. They don't tend to be a buying audience, but they are pretty good at looking at your work. And if you just do enough exposure, I think that eventually equates into fans and money.
Just keep rolling the dice.
So yeah, that's pretty much my technique, is that it generally doesn't take that long to put your work out there. So err on the side of more rather than less. But yeah, how do you feel about this?
I think a lot of it depends on the kind of person you are. So I've always been of the opinion that you should be putting it everywhere. If I get 10 views on every platform, then I want to be doing as many platforms as possible.
Sure.
I have to say that I find myself getting exhausted. And that while I am getting more views on my stuff, technically, I'm also not happier for it. I have found that outside of social media, I don't post much. I have my website, and that's kind of my hub. I have a mailing list, which I email from time to time. But mostly I exist on social media, and I do that because I found that I enjoy nurturing the connections that I have, and I'm not super interested in trying to build up a huge audience right now. I'd rather have an audience that I have a strong relationship with than a massive audience that I know nothing about and I don't connect with. Mm-hmm. It really just depends on what you're going for. I'm sure that in time when I publish my book, for instance, I'll want to start playing the numbers game because I want to make more sales. Mm-hmm. But right now, I am happy just posting on smaller places and connecting with the people I do have, then kind of throwing it out there. Yeah. I think that in terms of making money, throwing it out there all over the place can't hurt. I think that's a good thing to do. The more places you have it, the more likely it's to be seen, the more likely you are to make a sale. And that kind of multiple streams of revenue thing, I'm a big advocate of. I think that's a good way to make money. So if you want to be doing that kind of thing, I'd suggest putting stuff in as many places as you can. In terms of building up a meaningful connection with your audience and getting to know people and getting people to really understand you and your work and like vice versa, I'd say that focusing on the stuff that is like interesting and makes you happy. So for me, it's just a couple of social media platforms. For me, that's where the gold lies.
Yeah.
So I think in time I'll probably start building out. But
Yeah.
for now, it's those connections that are most important to me. So.
Yeah. The best one for me, honestly, is what you mentioned, mailing list. Mailing list has always been really powerful for me. There's just nothing that beats it. You get straight into people's inbox, and it's also nice because it opens up a line of communication that isn't quite the same. It doesn't let people just like something. It means that to respond to one of your messages, they've got to send you an email, which is pretty powerful because you tend to only send emails to people that you want to really have a conversation with. And I think it's great because, sure, I don't get too many responses from a mailing list mailing. I know that. But the ones that I do get are really cool, and I get to read them thoroughly, and I get to respond to them. You know, I try my best to respond to everybody who responds to one of my mailing list things, because I know that those people are my most dedicated fans, and that's a really powerful thing. And it's a platform that no social media people can screw you over on, which I've had happen many times.
Yeah.
And it's really, really good. So my suggestion is if you are just starting out, definitely start a mailing list. They take a long time to build, and they will pay off hugely when you've gotten bigger and you want to start selling stuff, or when you just want to put your work out there more. That's the biggest one for me.
I agree.
But yeah, it's all about producing content. Think about how to produce content that is going to draw people's attention. You can't just do work and put it out there and hope that it sticks. You've really got to put something out there that people are going to really respond to and connect with.
You've got to have a think as well about what kind of work day you want. The way that I currently operate is I make sure to interact with as many people as I can. So everyone, I go out of my way to respond to pretty much every message I receive, which works great for me because I'm extroverted and I'm pretty social, and I get like a good buzz out of doing that. It encourages me in my work. If you're not that kind of person, then you probably don't want to be following the same model as me. It will kind of depend on, like, have a think about what you actually want to be doing with your working day. If you want to have a sizable chunk of your day interacting with fans, or if you just want your work to kind of exist without your input, that you are kind of working and you're putting it out there and other people are kind of looking at it, and that's fine, you don't really need to be involved in that, then that works for you. It works like differently for everybody. I know there's a lot of creators who kind of put their stuff out there and then not respond to a single message because that's not what makes them happy.
Right.
I'm the total flip side of that. So
Sure.
Visualize what you want to be doing with your work, if you want to be speaking to people or not, like what kind of interaction you want to be having with people. And that will kind of give you a compass on where you should be posting your work and how much you should be interacting with other people on those kind of platforms.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right, see you guys.
Later.